let me ask you, I've got four questions for you. My first question to you is what are the three aspects local authorities underestimate when moving from EV strategy into actual delivery?
I think there's a lot of time that's involved with delivering EV charge points. You do need to make sure that you've got effective plans in place with your charge point operators and other key stakeholders, whether that be colleagues in your highways teams, the DNOs, and comms as well, to make sure that you're engaging with residents so you can bring local communities on board with you when you're delivering the charging point infrastructure. Another aspect that local authorities might underestimate is making sure that you're quite clear about what is the right charge point for the right place. There's a range of charge points on the market now, and there's a range of charge point needs that we need to address through our EV strategy and through the delivery. So taking the time to understand the needs of the user in a particular location is really key, because it's not just about putting thousands of charge points and meeting targets. It's about making sure that when you put the charge points in, you're going to meet the needs of the end user.
No, that's
Um,
fantastic. Thank you.
yeah.
My next question is what makes EV infrastructure delivery viable in large rural counties like yours?
So a county like Lincolnshire, we are one of the largest in the country, and we do have lots of challenges. But we've also got significant economies. So we've got a large visitor economy, not just concentrated on the east coast at places like Skegness, but also throughout the county, whether it be in Lincoln with the cathedral and the castle, or some of our National Trust properties. So we need to make sure that we're delivering infrastructure to encourage visitors to still come to the county. But we also have a significant agri-food culture cluster based in different parts of the county. And being so far away from the strategic road network, we need to make sure that we're putting the charge point infrastructure in place so that businesses can still come and trade in the county and do their deliveries. And a lot of the food that is in the supermarkets across the country at some point does come through Lincolnshire. I think 90% of fish at some point goes to Grimsby, for example.
And what mistakes rural councils should avoid making today to future proof their rollout?
I think one, it's not necessarily a mistake, but one piece of advice that I would share with all local authorities, whether they're rural, urban, or a mixture, is putting in passive infrastructure or infrastructure that you're able to then swap out as and when technology advances without the need to then do more excavations. There's lots of pieces of equipment that are on the market now where you can just take off a redundant charge point, put the new charge point in without having to do any more wiring, put any more feeder pillars in, or any more excavations.
And my last question to you is we'll look at the horizon of 2, 3 years. What will separate councils that deliver successful rural charging networks from those that struggle?
I'd say engagement with communities will be really key to make sure that you've got a successful rural charging network so that you're able to understand the needs of who's going to be using the charge points, whether it be residents, visitors, or businesses that are in, lots of our rural areas across the county, so that we can understand which charge point makes sense for their needs. For example, with cross pavement charging, what we're able to do in rural communities where there might be only a handful of properties that do not have access to off-street parking, it might be more difficult to put a public charge point there. But by having an adaptive EV strategy for a range of technology, we're then able to make sure that we're allowing and permitting the correct, appropriate form of technology for the right place.